Raising hell today, okay?
Welcome to Up the Gut, the Josh Allen of football podcast. Because we should be winning that MVP, but we're not.
Hang on, kid. Hang on, kid. Run. Far side of the 10, step on to the 5, head for the end zone. What a play.
Derrick Henry was on my team, so I'm going to go Texans, I guess.
Yeah, he's on Tennessee, though.
Oh.
You tried. You went for it. I appreciate it. This is Up the Gut, live.
100%.
Welcome to Up the Gut. I'm Patrick. And as always with me, we got Matthew A. Ehlers.
Wild card weekend, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you introduce yourself? Well, I mean, I introduced you, but why don't you talk about what we got to look forward to? I'm going to get the highlights behind me.
What we had to look forward to is Super Wild Card Weekend, because never before we had this many games on Wild Card Weekend. We don't have two. That's right. We don't have two per day. We have three. And boy, was it a clusterfuck putting all that together.
That just goes to show you the one time Buffalo is just killing it. We don't even get the bye.
Yeah. My buddy who's a Saints fan, he feels the same way.
Yeah, but the Saints are going to lose first round anyway. Isn't that what they do?
No, they usually just somehow always miraculously get kicked out by Minnesota.
Well, they don't have to worry about that now. All right. Well, I guess we should start this the only way I know how to start it.
Oh.
Where do we stand on Archibald?
I still stand on it's not my name.
So you're standing on your name.
On my name, which is not Archibald.
Archibald.
No.
Okay, well, I guess that's that. So we don't stand on Archibald. We use it as our name. Well, how'd you enjoy this last week of games?
I enjoyed it a lot. There's not any. The only thing I was upset about was Arizona losing because that let the Bears squeak in that 7th spot. And we hate the Bears.
Yeah, that's all right.
And poor Kyler Murray.
Arizona would, but I think it.
I was just saying, poor Kyler Murray. He got hurt. He tried to come back to lead his team to victory, and it just didn't pan out for him. The poor little football.
He got hurt almost immediately, didn't he?
Yeah, he got his ankle tweaked.
Which was obviously a risk, but I mean, if they're going to make the playoffs, it was going to be with him. So they did what they could. I obviously enjoyed it because Buffalo was dominant to the point where even Matt Barkley put up like 170 and 2 touchdowns. Like, who saw? I think it's 1 touchdown, but who saw that one coming?
Nobody.
I did because I love Matt Barkley, not as much as Alex Smith.
Yeah.
So we're Up the Gut, guys. This is live Super Wild Card Weekend. Get in the chat. And actually, we already got someone in the chat.
Why you
Chad
hate the
Smith
Bears?
wants to know why you hate the Bears.
Have you seen my hat?
That's
the oldest rivalry in football.
I don't necessarily hate the Bears. I don't really have feelings for them.
You don't have to. I have to hate the Bears because that's the burden you carry when you wear the symbol.
It's true. I hate the Patriots. I don't hate the Jets. Because the Jets don't bother me.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they're not a threat, why hate them?
And Robert says, "Go Chiefs." That's a surprise. So anyway, if you're watching this, get in on the chat, and we'll get to it. Sometimes it'll build up a little bit. We'll try to get to everything everybody's saying. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like it, keep the comments coming. And we'll just enjoy today. This will probably be the last of the really long episodes because we won't have as many games to go over, and that seems to be where we really go on. So before we move on to the first segment, I just want to remind everybody that Joe Flacco is the official quarterback of Up the Gut.
No, he's not. He's not even the official quarterback of his own team.
How do you know that? They don't even have a coach.
Because he's not playing.
Yeah, but they don't even have a coach anymore. And how nice is that?
That is true. Adam Gase finally got fired. That's a good thing that came out of this season.
And you can also follow us on Twitter at UpTheGut1. That is a number, not letters. The Gut 1. We just get in there and apparently we make people hate us. Already got blocked by a Chiefs fan.
Which they love their Patrick Mahomes. And I love him too.
I never said anything bad about Patrick Mahomes. I like Patrick Mahomes.
But you told him
you just say that he doesn't deserve to be MVP and they get upset.
Some of them are a little bit wiser, have a little bit better grasp of the bigger picture and realize, yeah, you're right. He kind of struggled those last couple of games and he sat out week 17. That didn't help his case.
So I don't know if you got a chance to see what the thumbnail is, but it has a picture of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and says MVP ?
No.
So I ask, who is the NFL MVP?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
It is Aaron Rodgers. Now, I can still make an argument for Josh Allen, but that's not what's going to happen. We all know it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. So the reason I put those two up there and not Aaron Rodgers, because I want to know who your runner-up for MVP is.
Ooh.
I need to stop rubbing my beard on the microphone.
Josh Allen has a super strong case. And I think towards the end there, his stock was rising as Mahomes was falling just a little bit. Mahomes still had an incredible season, though. Don't get it twisted. He's still in the MVP conversation.
No, but whenever it comes to MVP voting,
at
the end of the season's when you got to be at the top of your game.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been for whatever reason, be it he's bored, the competition isn't up to their level, whatever the reason is, but his 3 worst games were the last 3 games he played.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he had an average QBR of 65 across 3 games.
Nothing
now,
great.
Again, don't get it twisted. Josh Allen had some really bad games in there too. So I do understand.
Not at the end, though.
No, not at the end. At the end, he was playing his best ball.
Yeah.
And I was actually watching some football coverage on the YouTubes. Yeah. And I won't say who it was, but they were doing NFL power rankings for playoff teams. And they put Green Bay 3rd. They put Buffalo 2nd. And they put Kansas City 1st. Is my beard all the way over here?
And this is recent?
Yeah. This was done just for the playoffs teams after the last week 17. So I say, okay, there's an argument to be made there. Buffalo, I would argue, is probably number 1. Green Bay could very well be number 2. Now, the Bears game was divisional, but you guys grabbed it like the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. You guys didn't really separate until then.
Yeah.
And so, but there's an argument to be made for any one of those being number 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
But the reason I've lost respect for their ability to cover football is because of the reason they gave for Kansas City being number 1. They said Kansas City is playing their best game at the right time. They said that. So I don't get it. So my point is just like with the power rankings, I think MVP could have been one of 3 people. I think Patrick Mahomes really dropped off in the last 3. Aaron Rodgers has been steady the whole time. And I think Josh Allen has really come on to play. I mean, I think the Bills have been the best team in the NFL for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Easy. And so I think Josh Allen, considering that he makes up for the most amount of offense, yards, and touchdowns on his team, I think that is a pretty big deal for most valuable player. You cut out most of your offensive yardage and touchdowns if you cut out Josh Allen. He's higher than Aaron Rodgers, higher than Patrick Mahomes. And then he has more yards, I think, than Aaron Rodgers and more total touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes.
But does he have more total touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. No. Aaron Rodgers has most total touchdowns. But he has more yards than Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is the only person to count for over 50 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. I think Josh Allen's at 48.
Well, and his 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he has. Josh Allen has 8 rushing, and then I think he has 1 receiving too. So,
Yep.
Again, he accounts for more of the offense though. So, Aaron Rodgers may have that many touchdowns, but he's slinging it to multiple people. He has a running game to back him up. He has the best offensive line in football. Whereas, and not to say that we don't have good, because we do have Diggs and Beasley and John Brown, John Brown's been out for the one we've been playing our best football. So you can imagine with him in there. But even Kansas City has a better offensive line than Josh Allen. Plus he has Kelsey, Tyreek Hill. I mean, they are so deep that some of their good receivers, Hardman, he was starting with the second team just because he's that far down the depth chart. So,
well, they had to give Chad Henne one person to throw to.
He had multiple. What was that one guy? I forgot his name. It was like Yelder, like a huge tight end.
Yelder. That's a good name.
Anyway, this has been kind of boring, but that is my reasoning behind Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes. I think he's been playing better ball. I think overall he means more to the team. He is more valuable to the team. I'd make the argument that he's more valuable to the team than Aaron Rodgers, but I can see why Rodgers is going to win.
Because you saw how well you guys were still playing with your backup quarterback. That doesn't happen in Green Bay.
Sucks. You don't know that. You haven't seen Jordan Love.
You're right. He didn't see a single snap all season. I'm so glad we traded up in the first round to draft him.
I know. He was very important to your guys' success.
Yeah, those rat bastards. I really feel like they did that just to motivate Rodgers this season. Maybe that was the plan all along.
Maybe it was. It wasn't a very good plan, though.
I mean, it worked. Rodgers is easily playing the best football of his career.
Yeah, I mean he's up there. I don't think it's his best season, is it? But it's pretty close.
Not as far as quarterback rating, but it's the most touchdowns he's ever thrown. It's the fewest interceptions in a season he's ever thrown. It's got to be his highest completion percentage because the end of the year over 70. I don't think he's ever done that before.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen was like 69.4, and we know he's never done that.
Yeah, well, he's only got a couple years to work off of, but yeah. No, this is easily Josh Allen's best season by a lot. A lot.
Oh, yeah, he's killing. I think this is just what it's going to be from here on out, especially as long as we have Diggs. And I think he's probably as happy as he's ever been since he's been in the NFL. So I think we got a lot to look forward to here.
Well, that's good because up until recently, you never heard the terms happy in Buffalo from a player before.
That's not true at all.
Who else is happy to be in Buffalo?
Everybody's happy to be in Buffalo. They're not happy to go to Buffalo, but once they get there, they're happy as hell to be there. The fan base, now, again, being outside in Buffalo in the winter may not be the funnest thing, but the atmosphere, the fans, the food, I mean, people love it when they go there. I mean, Jim Kelly still lives there. All the old Bills still live there. That's how much they loved it. Once they got out of the league, they stayed. I think Eric Woods might still live there. Just Fred Jackson, maybe. I know he still hangs out a lot. So, no, everybody loves to be in Buffalo.
You think Beast Mode moved back?
No, he won't. He didn't. He was one of the few that didn't like it when he was there because he carried guns places. He's changed quite a bit since he was in Buffalo, though.
We have a comment. Robert Holler said that's going to change in the playoffs.
I put that up earlier. I think he's talking about the power rankings, the 1, 2, and 3, which I think that I think Kansas City's they'll turn it on. And again, I've made my views known that I want Kansas City to win. I want them to get to the AFC Championship because I want to beat them. One, because all my friends talk so much smack because I live in Kansas City. Two, because if for some odd reason they lose to someone else for whatever reason, or if Patrick Mahomes gets COVID and goes out and then they lose, then people say, well, you didn't beat the best team. You didn't beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
So that's why I want them to get there. Plus, I might, if I can't get tickets to the game, I will be I will tailgate and I will cook up buffalo wings and Arrowhead parking lot, and I will root on the Bills until the game starts, and then I'll go home and watch it.
Nice.
So,
Bills and Chiefs both need to worry about run defense.
I mean, that's true.
Maybe,
we do
but
need to worry about that.
I think your run defense is probably better than Kansas City's. Y'all gonna?
It wasn't when we played them.
No. Well, that's because you guys had to stay spread out, worry about all of the receivers, and worry about Mahomes running.
It'll be different this time about when we play them because, again, we don't – there's never an easy path in the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I tweeted that, the only person that might be able to say that would be Tampa Bay to say, oh, yeah, we got the easy 7-9 team. But ask the Saints how they felt about taking on the 7-9 Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I think someone came out with the stat where I think there's 3 – this will be the third 7-9 team, and the prior 2 won in the wild card round. So
I hope Washington win the wild card round. Alex Smith deserves a playoff win.
I agree, and we all can agree that everyone that loves Alex Smith, right? Like we can get behind that, right? Like
I feel like we should.
everybody loves Alex Smith.
If you, with his story, if you hate Alex Smith, you're probably just a terrible person.
Agreed. So we're in agreement. Everybody loves Alex Smith.
Everybody should love Alex Smith. Again, there's going to be those people out there that don't. There's always a handful.
All right, Chad. Talk some smack. Tell me right now you want to play Buffalo. Tell me right now that you want them.
Oh, he does.
Even if it's in Kansas City. I think that the team that should worry most people is Buffalo. And it's not being cocky. I think I've been pretty level-headed when it comes to the Bills and understanding what type of team they are.
I'll say this about Chiefs fans: they do keep their confidence until they get beat. Like they're always up there. They want the smoke.
They want the smoke.
As a SmackDown tag.
I still haven't figured that one out. That seems like a bad thing. Everybody keeps telling me not to smoke. So again, I want to beat the best. If it was the Patriots, I'd want to beat them. Of course, we've already beat them. If we could beat Tom Brady just for fun, I would do that too. But right now, Kansas City is the top dog in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. They're reigning Super Bowl champs. They have the best record in the NFL. Yeah. I want to beat them. And then I want to beat the Packers. That's what I want.
And I want to beat the Bills.
You son of a gun.
And the only reason I want to beat the Bills is because it means the Bills got to the Super Bowl. They're at least AFC champs.
Yep. And that's what Super Bowl is.
See,
now, the one thing I don't want is I don't want COVID to jack with the playoffs.
At all. I don't want anybody to have to. Well, it already has. Because the Browns
Cleveland gets no coach.
Yeah. No coach. And I have to do a little bit of crack research to see if the Saints are going to get the running backs back in time.
They should, but I haven't heard. But I mean, they haven't reported that they won't.
Yeah, I hope
exactly like Ric Flair always says: to be the best, you got to beat the best. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Sorry.
To be the boss, you got to pay the cost.
There you go. So that's what we're looking at, and that's what I want, and I think it's going to happen. I mean, it's not going to be easy because we're going to have, the Colts on Saturday, and then we're going to have to either take on, most likely, it'll be either Pittsburgh, Tennessee, or Baltimore. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be Pittsburgh, which again we already beat them once.
I'm hoping it's Cleveland.
Well, if it's Cleveland, then we'll have the winner of Tennessee-Baltimore.
Did you Cleveland the 7th seed? Or did I miss something?
Oh. They're the 6th seed, so that means Kansas City would get them.
Ah, yes.
So again, I would like to beat Pittsburgh again.
That'd be bad.
So anyway, we don't need to go. This is pretty funny.
I need more Bills there because they don't want Cuomo there.
This governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo, had been the one that banned all fans all year. And then all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. He's like, oh, that's okay. You can have fans now. And I'll go to the game too.
Well, and Bills Mafia said, no, you can stay out.
Yeah, Bills Mafia started a petition to ban him from the stadium.
Did it get enough signatures?
Do what?
Did it get enough signatures?
I don't know if it did or not, but I think he got the hint because he said he will not be attending and he's giving his ticket to a nurse.
Wait, just say face.
I think that's funny. I mean, I don't like doing what Pro Football Talk does and mixing my politics with my football, but I am not a fan of Cuomo.
I'm a fan of Rivers Cuomo.
And we'll even keep it to the football side just because he's not consistent. Why ban fans the entire year but allow the playoffs?
Because
nothing's changed.
The power of the playoffs reduces the power of the COVID. Everybody knows
exactly. It's just makes no sense. If he's going to allow them now, he should allow them the whole time. If he's not allowing the whole time, he shouldn't allow them now. I'm glad there will be fans, but come on, man. You know what? Fuck that dude.
Yeah, that's what Heather said.
Do what?
That's what Heather said in the chat.
Yeah.
She knows.
Fuck that guy. I don't know if you realize this, but fuck that guy actually started in a different group. But I started it, so I keep it.
Nice.
All right. It took me a while because I forgot that. But see that guy? Fuck that guy. just fuck that guy. Okay. Sorry. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Just remember, Aaron fucking Rodgers is a man.
Sorry, no, he's the MVP. We're calling him now.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, I think we're supposed to be recapping the week. That is football.
We can try to run through it real quick, which is never real quick for us, but
do you know what this is?
Hold on, let me go back to my screen. Is that our picks?
It's our picks with Vern last week.
Yeah.
Would you like to know how we did?
I would.
Matt, you went actually, yeah, we'll start with you. You went 10-6.
Woohoo!
Pretty good considering what we're having to work with.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Vern, he went 11-5.
Nice.
It's pretty solid.
Did you go 13-3?
Patrick also went 11-5.
Oh. So you and the Patriots fan are the same.
Yeah, I think he just copied me. Actually, what's really funny is we had not a lot, but we had some fairly differing picks throughout it, but it happened to work out that way.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with the Bucs and the Falcons.
Yeah, that game wasn't really a surprise. The Falcons looked awful.
Bucs went up fast, Falcons caught up, and then Falcons quit, which seems to be what the Falcons do.
It's absolutely what they do. I don't get how the Falcons still have fans. That's been their theme this whole season was get a lead, blow a lead. Get a lead, blow a lead.
Well, I mean, at some point, that's you're going to have a bad run. So, unfortunately, but they're going to have to retool it. New coach. I think have to get a new GM.
Maybe a new quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say probably a new quarterback. Matt Ryan, not that he's bad. It's just he's, if you're starting new, you want to start new. So.
Matt Ryan clearly doesn't have that clutch gene, that's for sure.
He used to. He used to be Matty Ice. Ice in his veins.
Yeah.
Close it out.
Called him Matty Ice. When he gets in the red zone, he goes cold.
Yeah, he thawed. He doesn't know what he's doing. Then we went to the game that upset me the most. Cowboys-Giants.
Why did that upset you?
Cowboys almost had it. They almost had it.
We don't want the Cowboys to go because then they take it away from Alex Smith.
Everybody loves Alex Smith. I mean, we can all agree on that. But you know what I was rooting for. You knew. That was why I made the picks that I did. It was off nothing more than what I wanted to see. I was trying to will it into existence because I made that pick. And now I cannot have that pick.
You just wanted to be right.
I did.
No, my question is, why would you even want the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl? Why would you want that?
Because I don't want it. I just felt it. I felt like there was a chance.
Have you not watched the Cowboys over the past 25 years?
I have. But, sometimes you just get that feeling. You got to go with it.
I never got that feeling. Once I saw they hired Mike McCarthy, I knew they were screwed, and it made me happy.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Mike McCarthy. I was not really a fan of him. I feel like Tomlin, he just kind of got a team. He inherited this team, and then he just kind of rolled with it until it didn't work anymore. And he just happened to have Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, which helps a lot. Yeah.
No, he helped kind of put the team together. But after that Super Bowl, as the years went on, his play calling, especially on the offensive side of things, got really stale. I mean, it got so bad we didn't even let him finish his last season. We fired him with like 4 games to go.
That's too bad. I hate seeing that, especially from a storied franchise that's supposed to be good.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but I was happy to see him go.
Anyway, so then you got the Patriots and the Jets, which, Cam Newton was actually got to play quarterback for a little bit. And the Jets went back to being the Jets.
Yeah. But I'm waiting because I think at some point we're going to see Cam Newton get cut. There's no way
I think so too.
There's no way to stick with him.
They have a cap room now. They're going to probably draft and bring in another veteran that they're probably a little more comfortable with, whether it's a Carson Wentz or a Matt Ryan or a Matt Stafford, something like that. They're going to actually have to start. I think they want to start with a vet that's good enough and then get somebody, draft who they want, because it seems like they always just kind of took a quarterback that was going to be the future when Tom left. I don't think they ever really took it serious. Well, they have to take it serious now. Don't you, Patriots fans?
There's still rumors that they could get Jimmy Garoppolo back.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know. Do you want him though? I mean, he's good. He's good, but he's injured. He's hurt all the time. I don't see that changing when he's playing in cold weather.
Well, so is Carson Wentz.
It's true, but at least he plays in cold weather.
Well, so did Jimmy Garoppolo until they got rid of him.
It's killing me.
Here's the thing: when Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy,
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play.
He played 3 games in New England, and he looked really good in all 3 of them. That's how he got the starting job in San Francisco.
That's true. No, I like him. I don't want to see him back in New England. I don't think that's the run. Something's killing me about my mic.
Is it your beard?
It is not my beard. It's getting a lot of background noise after I talk. I'll figure it out. But anyway, so then we got the Vikings and the Lions.
A really good game that meant nothing.
Yeah, it's about pointless.
I mean, it gave the Lions a better draft spot because they lost.
Yeah, but
Justin Jefferson set the record for most receiving yards by a rookie in the Super Bowl era.
That's true. That's awesome.
He'll be the runner-up for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Who's getting Offensive Rookie of the Year?
It's going to be Herbert for sure.
Yeah. We're in agreement then.
Yeah, it's going to be Herbert because he's a quarterback and he played really well. Even though his team
Kirk Cousins throw for like 400 yards, 400 plus yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, he played his best game in the most meaningless game of the season.
That's a very Kirk Cousins thing to do. We love you, Kirk Cousins. If you want to be on the show, Matt would love that.
I would. Kirk Cousins seems like a super cool dude. I would have no problem hanging out with him.
Do you like that?
I do like that, and I hope Minnesota extends him for 4 more years after this contract.
Man, we are cruising because we're on to the Steelers Browns.
Give me 4 more years of Cousins.
Yeah. Give me 4 years of Jordan Love.
I mean, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, I said that from the get-go. I think I'd said, like, Rodgers had another decade in him at least. And everybody's like, no.
Maybe.
Why not?
The question is whether or not Green Bay keeps him for that whole decade. He's got at least 3 more years in Green Bay. After that, we'll see.
Do you think he wants to come back?
I think he wanted to stay a Packer, but after the way the organization showed him how much they appreciate him, I don't think they're going to keep him.
Weird, because I think that he's probably a little bit slighted. I don't know that he wants to stay a Packer.
I feel like he wants to, but it's an unrequited love. He wants to stay a Green Bay Packer, but the Packers are like, well, you did only throw 26 touchdowns. Granted, you still only threw 4 interceptions and looked really good, but, we think you're the problem.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. I think that before this he wanted to be a lifer in Green Bay, but after they refused to get him a receiver, when they refused to do even a draft, a free agency, and then they draft a quarterback and they move up and give stuff up to get another quarterback. If I was him, I'd say, you know what? See you guys. You don't really care that much about me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't play like he didn't care. This is probably the best season he's had ever.
So Steelers Browns.
I mean, the Steelers rested all their starters, so this game went pretty much the way I figured it would.
Yeah, except I thought Browns would do a little bit better, but they let Mason Rudolph sling it in to the end. So
Yeah,
that makes me worry a little bit for the actual game because, I think the Steelers will probably win the playoff game, but I want the Browns to.
I want the Browns to also, but with their coach not being there and with all their starters playing this weekend, I think the Browns are going to lose also. But I hope they win somehow. I hope Baker Mayfield feels dangerous that day.
Yeah, he comes out and plays like he did in that first half of the Tennessee game.
Yes.
So then we got the Ravens and the Bengals. Now,
that went by the way I figured it would too.
Exactly how I thought it would go as far as the Ravens winning. The thing that cracks me up the most about it, the stats for that quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
You mean his
like 117 passing yards?
10 of 18 for $113, but 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah. And 97 rushing yards?
97 rushing yards on 11 carries.
That's a hell of a quarterback, everybody.
I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns. He didn't rush for a single one.
Yeah. It was because they're so worried about it. All he had to do was flick it to the tight end across the middle. I actually think he had one of his touchdowns was a pretty big play, I think, and that constitutes for most of his yards.
Well, that and J.K. Dobbins rushed for $160 and 2 touchdowns.
Yep, because they were always after Lamar Jackson because he's running everywhere.
I mean, as a team, the Ravens rushed for over 400 yards.
Yeah, it's no surprise. I mean, that's what you expect, which is funny because why wouldn't you just load up the box? It's not like he's going to sling it on you. Should be able to stop the run pretty easy.
He will if you give him some 1-1 matchups that you can't win because you're the garbage Bengals.
Yeah, if you're the Bengals, but I mean, a solid team, you're going to be fine covering because he's not that accurate.
No.
So if you have good secondary,
if
you have a good secondary, you just stack that box up.
And linebackers that can pursue because Russ he will take off if no one's open.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, is you box them in, you rush the outside, you don't do a lot of push up the middle, so you box them in. Yeah, you don't necessarily try to sack him. Sorry.
Just stop him at the line. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, if you lose your containment line, he's going to torch you.
Yep. And that's the thing. That's where a lot of people, he gets them, is whenever they do their pass rush, they're like, oh, snap, he's right there. I'm going to grab him. And then he goes, whoop, 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 and he's gone. Did you see? Would you let me try that up again? Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay.
Yes.
Then we had the Bills and Dolphins. Not a lot to say there, except that like 30% of the points
there.
30% of the points scored against the Dolphins, who had the number 1 scoring defense. 30% of their points were by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I think they allowed like 20 touchdowns, 20 passing touchdowns, and 7 of them were to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, and one of them was to Matt Barkley.
I'm trying to run through the stats here. Did y'all have like at least 1 defensive touchdown?
No? Yeah, we had Josh Norman had a pick 6. And we got like 4 or 5 interceptions on Tua. But Josh Norman had a pick 6.
Because it's showing the stats for Josh. Because it's showing the stats for Josh Norman, and it's only saying that he had 4 tackles. It's not even registering that he had an interception.
Well, he did. He had a pick 6.
Oh, wait, no, there it is.
There you go. Did he have 1 or 2 interceptions?
1.
Well, Tua threw it to more Bills than he did to Dolphins. So. And I said that from the get-go. Like, I had no worries about this game whatsoever unless we played Fitzpatrick, and then it'd be a tight game.
Right.
But again, Josh Allen and the starters, they played the first half. We got a decent lead, and then second team got in, the second string got in there, and they still played great against the Dolphins. So it was pretty sad. I mean, we weren't necessarily running it up because we put our backups in. So
yeah, but I mean, Matt Barley only went 6 for 13, but he had 164 passing yards.
1 touchdown, 1 really bad interception. But he hit Gabe Davis. He hit him twice deep. That's good because that's going to open Gabe Davis up for the playoffs because he's done stuff here and there for us. But that's going to booster his morale. He's going to be ready to go out there and just kill it.
Yeah, Gabe Davis only had 2 catches, but he had 107 receiving yards.
Mm-hmm. And 1 touchdown, I think.
Yep. That's insane.
So then we had the Seahawks and the 49ers, and the 49ers made it interesting, but Seahawks they pulled it off.
Yeah. Honestly, with what the Niners went through this season, because I think as far as COVID and injuries and stuff, they had it the worst.
Yeah. Like
Philly
half their team was on IR. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I said maybe Philly's the only other squad that can really contest with them as far as losing people.
Yeah, I mean everybody's had their issues this year, but
not
I
like
feel like there's another one that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, so I didn't watch that game. There wasn't much to it. I didn't really care that much about it. But Seahawks, I believe, clinched the division off that one. I think actually they probably already clinched it, but
they'd already clinched the division, and had we lost and the Saints lost, they would have clinched the 1 seed.
Yep, they were trying for it. Then you had the Rams and the Cardinals, which was the battle of the backups, and the Rams came through. They won. They got into the playoffs.
Well, the Rams were lucky they had to play the backup because I think
pocket quarterback.
Yeah, had Kyler Murray stayed healthy the whole game, I think it could have been a very different ball game.
That's true, but again, they did their best, but Kyler was already hurting, so hopefully he's not.
He was hurting coming in, and they got his ankle tweaked during the game, and it just went downhill.
Pew pew. Joe Flacco, official quarterback of Up the Gut. Pew 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 pew. Sorry,
he's not.
Anyway, Heather says Denver is the team, and she's right because they lost. They lost that one guy. I can't remember his name because he got hurt in preseason. The rusher,
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller. They lost Cortland Sutton real quick. They got hit hard. So that is the team I was looking at.
But did they get hit as hard as the Niners, though?
No.
I don't know if any team
but they're up
got
there.
hit as hard as the Niners.
No, like I said, Niners had like 65% of their team out by week 2. And, of course, I mean, how long? I mean, Garoppolo was out for a while. Kittle was out for a while. Bosa was out for a while.
Bosa was out for the season.
Yeah, that's a while. So, that is a long while.
It's almost
so anyway, so that was the team I was looking for. So then we got the Jaguars and the Colts, which went about how I thought it was. But I will say it has me feeling pretty good about our playoff game because the Colts, kind of like the Chiefs, have not been playing their best ball the last several weeks.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole thing about Phillip Rivers' whole career is that he plays pretty well during the regular season and come postseason time. He just doesn't have it.
And it's a dome team coming into Buffalo.
Yep.
Which we're supposed to be reviewing last week. But yeah, the Jaguars were the Jaguars. Worst team in football.
Yeah, got the number 1 pick for a reason.
I think they started Mike Glennon.
I believe so.
Then the game that I was hoping the Texans would win, and then they were going to let me down. And they're like, no, we cannot let Patrick down. And they stormed back, tied up the game, and then let Tannehill drop one deep with the last second so they kick a field goal. Thank you, Texans. You just broke my heart.
The Texans are a bad team.
Yeah, they got the league leader in passing yards.
Ooh, yards. Doesn't mean anything if you don't find pay dirt.
Yeah. I guess I don't know who they have running for him, but they're getting it down the field. They have J.J. Watt still.
They have David Johnson running for him. You remember David Johnson?
I do remember David Johnson.
He had a pretty decent day.
So
they had Brandon Cooks to throw to. He had a really good day.
So I don't know what their deal is, but they should be better next year. Maybe they'll get a competent coach, whether it be the Chiefs offensive coordinator, the Bills offensive coordinator, the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator.
Maybe. But I feel like they're going to lose J.J. Watt this offseason.
Oh, man, I could see why they would. But J.J. Watt is Mr. Houston Texans. Like, that's like saying that Drew Brees is going to go play for another team after all he's done in New Orleans, you know?
Well, no, because Drew Brees is 41, and with all the injuries he's gotten this year, I think he's going to retire.
Okay, imagine after they won their Super Bowl, after they went through Katrina, and then Drew Brees is like, "Peace." that's what it's like different. Because everything they went through with Harvey and all the money he raised.
Yeah, but the Saints were at least winning. J.J. Watt's tired of losing, so he's going to join the Dark Order.
Well, I don't know. If he does, Mr. J.J. Watt, don't go to Pittsburgh. Your brother's already there. Things will get confusing. You need to come to the sunshine state of Buffalo,
of Wisconsin.
Because New York's the state, Buffalo's the city. Play for the Bills.
Play for the Packers.
We know we got the offense. We got the defense. Could you imagine a J.J. Watt right there? He doesn't want to go to your team. He doesn't like Aaron Rodgers. He hates Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, J.J. Watt loves everybody.
T.J. Watt was the league leader in sacks.
Yes, he was.
So why would you go there? Now you're just splitting time. You don't have to compete with nothing. We don't sack people. We just intercept them.
Exactly. Come to Green Bay where you can play alongside Kenny Clark in the middle of that line and then rush the quarterback with the Smith brothers.
We got a good interior. We just need that outside. We need that guy. And his name is J.J. Watt.
We have a good outside. We just need that interior who can also be J.J. Watt.
After that amazing welcome to Buffalo, you guys heard it here first. J.J. Watt, your new Buffalo Bill. Anyway.
J.J. Watt, your new Green Bay Packer.
Stop trying to steal my stuff. You didn't even give him a really nice welcome. You didn't sell your team. You just said be a Green Bay Packer. That's no good.
J.J. Watt's not all about the fanfare and the frills. He just wants to play football. And that's
he loves buffalo wings. And you're not getting them in Green Bay, not good ones.
You can get those anywhere.
But not good ones.
And no, J.J. Watt loves Subway, just like the rest of his family.
Everywhere else. They're buffalo wings in Buffalo.
And J.J. Watt loves Subway, just like the rest of his family. And you can get that anywhere.
Yeah, but it's better in Buffalo because no one wants to go outside. So then we had the Raiders-Broncos, which was a back-and-forth offensive battle of shitty teams.
It's crazy how the best games were just so meaningless.
Yeah. Drew Lock was in there, and he lost, and Derek Carr was slinging it and winning in the last seconds, and then you got an 8-8 team and a 5-11 team. So it means nothing to me. It was something. It didn't mean as much as the Chargers-Chiefs game did to me.
Well, and again, that kind of went the way we figured it would because
Chiefs got annihilated. No. That did not go the way we thought it would. It went the way I thought it would. You picked Kansas City. Vern picked Kansas City. You picked them to win. I told you don't be crazy.
Yeah, I thought Herbert was going to screw it up at the end.
No, he was amazing. He was just chucking it around. And Kansas City sucked. Kansas City, don't you bring that offense and defense to Buffalo. You'll never stand a chance. Don't bring your second string over there.
Well, they're not. They're not going to play their backups in the playoffs.
Oh, they might. You never know. COVID. All right. So, Chiefs started second string. Chad Henne started like 8 for 8. I mean, he was doing good, but in the end, it was just, it was second string versus a starter.
In the end, it was Chad Henne.
That's true. Then we got the Saints just annihilating the Panthers, I missed a team, but we'll go back to that one. But the Saints and the Panthers went exactly how we thought it would.
Yeah.
Drew Brees was playing good. Even without their running backs, they're able to turn on, score points, and the Panthers just look silly.
Yeah, the Panthers are just, again, a very bad team. And P.J. Walker went out there, and I thought things were going to pick up, and P.J. Walker looked terrible.
Really? That's too bad.
Here's P.J. Walker's stat line. Are you ready for this? The great XFL MVP frontrunner P.J. Walker? 5 of 14 for 95 yards and 3 interceptions.
All right. Sorry. What was the stats again? I got distracted by the chat.
5 of 14 for 95 yards and 3 interceptions.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah,
It's
PJ.
too bad.
PJ sucked. I'll say it. PJ sucked.
So Chad says
Uh-oh. What Chad
barbecue
said.
is better in Texas.
Yeah,
And Heather agrees.
I've
But
never
Chad
heard of-
Smith knows.
I'd never heard of Buffalo barbecue.
I don't know. They got chicken wings. I'm sure they have good barbecue. But the thing is
But
better
it's
than
not.
where?
It's
The
not
best
well-
barbecue I've ever had
It's
was in Kansas City.
Yeah. Why is that my name tag, by the way? I've been on my other screen looking at stats. Why'd you put that up there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
So I was watching the Bills game over at a friend's house, and he just kept saying, "You better not bring that team to Kansas City. You won't stand a chance." And it was our backups. And so the entire Kansas City game, I kept saying that, like, you better not be playing that offense whenever you play Buffalo. So that was the joke I was making.
So you better not bring that team that dropped almost 60? Yeah. Better not.
I'll take our second stream over your second stream. Come on, Chad Henne. We got Matt Barkley. I don't know what this means.
Dude, our
It's-
Texas. No, it's
the finger.
It's the one.
I wasn't sure if you're being fancy or pointing at something. Are you saying the Chad has the best barbecue? There you go. Okay. I got a little distracted on that one. Where are we at? So Packers Bears. Again, it was really close up until the last 3 minutes, and then Green Bay did what Green Bay did. Put it away.
I was happy to see them kind of turn back on towards the end, but I would just still love to see more games like that Tennessee game we had. Just a complete game. That's what we need in the playoffs, because against these better teams, because Chicago, they're squeaking in the playoffs, they're not a good team, and they will lose in the wild card round.
Yeah, they got the Saints, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We don't want to go too crazy because we'll pick all those here in just a second. So then we got the last game, which was if the Eagles couldn't put Dallas in the playoffs, they're going to do what I want them to do, and they were going to make sure. Doug Peterson made sure
Made
the
damn
football
sure.
team win it. So
And the crazy thing is the first half of that game was so fun to watch. And then the second half was just straight ass.
I don't even know the quarterback they put in for that fourth down play. I've never heard of him.
Nate Sudfeld. I never heard of him either. I thought he was maybe like some rookie that never played. No, he's been in Philly for 4 years.
Why? They have quarterbacks. They have backup quarterbacks. They really need a third one? I guess if you got Carson Wentz, you might.
Well, Carson Wentz was I think he's still hurt because he didn't even have pads on.
So we're just going to go ahead and shift over to this segment.
Let me get back to my camera screen.
I forgot you were looking up stats. So I don't have anybody necessarily because, everything happens that need to happen. Marone's gone. Gase is gone. So
the guy in LA is gone. The Chargers coach, Anthony Lynn.
Oh, yeah, Anthony Lynn. So, I don't want to spit on anybody when they're down,
Oh,
It is still a job. They still have to support their families. So, they probably got what they deserve.
yeah.
But, that is I don't have anything. There was nothing that really stuck out to me where I had to say, man, fuck that guy. So what do you got?
I got Doug Peterson, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Fuck that guy.
And that's Matthew A. Ehlers. The text says it.
Well, it's because A, we got the wrong name tag up there, and B, that's mine. I'm Matthew Ehlers.
Matthew A. Ehlers? I know you are.
No, get goddamn Patrick. No, fuck.
Real
fuck
Meat Barbecue, and he was pointing at Heather that she knows. I still think Kansas City Barbecue is better than Texas Barbecue.
You interrupted me during my fuck that
Get
guy.
at me on Twitter. I know. I'm sorry.
How dare
It's
you?
because I was giving you time to get over the fact that you admitted to being Matthew A. Ehlers.
Keep it up. You might be next week's fuck that guy.
Every week's fuck that guy. That's what everybody says. They know it. They know it. All right, go ahead.
This week it's Doug Peterson.
And
why? Because he benched Jalen Hurts for no damn reason. Put in Nate Sudfeld, who was bad's not even the word to describe it. Nate Sudfeld was fucking atrocious.
Unprepared because he's the 18th string quarterback?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts is looking confused on the sideline because, granted, he wasn't throwing the ball well, but he rushed for 2 touchdowns. So it was 17-14 going into halftime. I thought this was going to end up being a really great game. But no, the fourth quarter, he throws Nate Sudfeld in. He shits the bed. And then he goes to his post-game press conference, tries to tell the world that he was playing that game to win. No, Dougie P, you were playing the tank because you went to halftime and realized if you win, you get the 9th pick. But if you lose, you get the 6th pick.
That's just smart coaching.
It's smart coaching in the long run, but you can't come out and lie to people and say you're playing to win that game.
Not when you make a decision like that. That's too obvious.
Yeah. I saw it. The world saw it. You can't lie to us, Dougie P. And because you tried, fuck you.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
All right. Well, now you.
But one good thing came out of that. One good thing came out of that, and that was all those salty Giants and the Eagles for them not going to the playoffs. Even though their sorry squad went 6-10.
Yeah, you can't get mad at somebody when you didn't do your work to get in. You can appreciate them if they help you get in. But if they don't make sure you get in, it's just your own damn fault. Don't give them an option.
Yeah.
All right.
If you go 6-10, you don't deserve a playoff spot anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true. I would have liked to have seen it. I'd like to see 5-11 team make the playoffs.
I'd like to see
making your 17 playoffs, freaking making that wild card weekend.
It'd be funny to see a 5-11 team host a wild card game, but they wouldn't deserve it.
Oh, deserve? What do you know about deserving things in football, Matt?
I know you should have a winning record to deserve a playoff spot. That's what I
agree. I agree.
When you have a team that's 11-5, sitting at home watching your 5-11 squad host a game, that's just wrong.
Yeah,
at some point the league needs to step in and go, you know what? Your whole division is trash. None of y'all are going to the playoffs. We have a 4th wild card spot now, and only 3 division champs going in because all of you suck.
Yeah, that's a dangerous road to go down. I don't think they should have added that last wild card spot.
They shouldn't have. They should have kept the old system with 2 bye weeks.
More money, man. Money makes the world go round.
I know. I get the business decision side of things, but I'm not a huge fan of change. But I guess in a few years, I'll just get used to it. Hell, I think sometime in the future, we're supposed to have our 17-game regular seasons.
That's why you never change, Matt. And that's what I love about you. That's what I appreciate about you, Matt.
But that's okay, though. The weekend's over, and our wild card weekend is set.
Yes, it is. And you know what that means?
We get
to make picks.
Means I get to enjoy this bye week.
Oh, that means you just get a week less of Packers football. I get an extra week of Bills football.
Good. My guys needed a rest. Our bye week is way back in week 4. What if that kid had come out and rocked it? Then Dougie P would have looked like a genius. But he didn't come out and rocked it. He came out and played like ass.
Was he showing promise like he wasn't going to tank it?
No, he's so terrible.
So, yeah. So, I mean, if he come out and rocked it, then good for him.
Yeah, let me get you his stat line real quick. Nate Sudfeld, 5 of 12 for 32 yards and a pick.
Those are Cam Newton numbers.
Yeah. And he lost a fumble because he dropped a snap.
Now, here's my question. Chad's watching. Does Chad want to come on and make picks with us?
Then did he tank it? Yes, he tanked it. And then he tried to lie to all of us and say he was playing to win. Yes,
he's saying if he had come out and rocked it and they, say they won the game and, then he wouldn't have been, or say they still lost, but he was, like 10 for 10 for 230 yards, but they still lost.
Then
Did he tank it?
No, then I believe he's playing to win because Jalen Hurts was struggling to throw the ball. But Nate Sudfeld, even as bad as Jalen Hurts was playing, Nate Sudfeld was so much worse.
I don't think Jalen Hurts or Tua are going to be long for this league.
I have more faith in Jalen Hurts than I do in Tua right now.
I will rephrase that. I don't think they're long for starting positions in the league. So,
I don't know
Chad,
quarterback.
I emailed you a link to join if you want to come on and do expert picks by Ogre. So we'll see if Chad pops in here. But other than that, we're going to move on to our Super Wild Card Weekend.
Oh my God! 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday.
And they start with the best.
Washington and wait, no.
I think that might be the last game on Saturday.
That is the last game. Because of course they're going to put Tom Brady in prime time.
Yeah, I hope he loses because that would be so funny.
I hope Chase Young does Madden things in this game.
He just tanks offensive linemen. See if I freeze up at all.
Just
see if I freeze up. Actually, maybe that's why you've been freezing up because you're running too much stuff on your computer.
I know because I didn't open all 16 tabs this time.
Well, I just noticed every once in a while you freeze up, and if you're having to load up web pages, that's why I stopped. I just have my web pages up, and I don't have to make it load because every time I made it load,
I usually try to be prepared, but you also got to remember that I was a tired boy, and I literally woke up 5 minutes before the show started.
You had me so worried. I was calling. So if you're watching and you would like to be a backup host, should Matt decide to wake up next time, just text me your number or text me and let me know. Probably everybody knows me.
I decided to. It's my phone died, so I didn't have an alarm.
It's kind of funny. I send Matt text because I know he works nights, so he's got to wake up, and so I send him a text. I'm like, 2 hours till showtime. Like 30 minutes till showtime. I'm like 15 minutes till showtime. I'm like, oh no, there's 7 minutes till showtime. And I try calling him and it goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, son of a gun. Yeah, Chad, I emailed it to your Ogre email. There should be a StreamYard email in there from me. And you click on the link with your phone and it should pop you up in here and I'll bring you in. So anyway, yeah, so I was worried I was making phone calls and then all of a sudden Matt's there.
Yeah, I told you I'll always be here.
He'll never let me down.
That's right.
Even if his phone died, somehow he wakes up magically.
Yeah.
I haven't emailed his roommate.
Who did nothing.
Well, I mean, I don't know if everybody in the world checks their email on their phone all the time like I do, so.
They don't.
Oh, we got Chad Smith. He's going to be the Ogre Expert Picks for Super Wild Card Weekend. So let's welcome
Super Wild Card Weekend.
Ogre.
What's up, fellas?
Hello.
There he is. All right, Chad, you ready? We're going to have you officially on the record now.
Oh, man.
Hey, look, he's wearing the gear of that squad you want to play.
Yeah, he knows. He knows where we're going to be.
Hey, what's this?
A t-shirt.
Yeah, no, that's great. I celebrate. I cheered for him. I'm glad they won. It is.
I was happy they won as well.
So we're just going to go in order and start with the game of the week.
Game of the week first?
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. This is your 1 o'clock game. You're noon Central, 12:05.
We never said that Patrick wasn't biased.
I'm extremely biased.
We couldn't tell by all the Josh Allens. The biggest man crush on this show.
Josh Allen does have a case for MVP. He's just not going to get it.
No, he's not.
About it. Hey, Patrick's got a point with Josh Allen. Aaron Rodgers ain't got the skill set receivers that the Chiefs have got, but Josh Allen has done a lot more with less, I feel. And I think it's just the fact it's exciting. It's exciting to watch a guy at his size produce and run and do everything he does. So, I mean, I agree with him, but I also agree with Ehlers that this might be Aaron Rodgers' kind of like a fine wine, man. He's gotten a little bit better with age, at least this year. I don't know if they scared the crap out of him with Jordan Love or what, but he's definitely performed this year. So
I don't think they scared him. I think they pissed him off.
I think he was pissed at first, but I mean, I don't know.
I think he's still pissed about the pick, but now that he's accepted Matt LaFleur's offensive system, it just works so much better now.
I think it's like the Hulk off the Avengers. The trick about Aaron Rodgers is he's always pissed off. That or he always cries before the games, one of the two.
Well, let me ask you this. What's Josh Allen's kryptonite?
What's Josh Allen's kryptonite?
Yeah.
This year?
Don't say nothing, Patrick. Let's ask Ahlers.
Okay.
What's Josh Allen's kryptonite, Ahlers?
I haven't got to watch a lot of Buffalo games because they're not on TV up here in Montana.
Okay, Patrick, we'll start with you. What's Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite?
Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite is lack of receivers.
Yeah,
to drop. I don't think it's anything he does.
It's double coverage to Devontae Adams. That's his kryptonite.
Yep. Because Devontae Adams is amazing. And that's why I think it's funny anytime we mention weapons, Ahlers always says, well, he has Stephon Diggs. We have Devontae Adams. They're very equivalent receivers.
Exactly. So you're 1-to-1.
But you have the touchdown of Tanyan. We don't have that tight end in the end zone.
Yeah, but you got Beasley, man.
We do have Beasley and Brown, and they're quick guys. They're the good slots, and they're sure-handed, unless it's raining in Buffalo.
That's all you need for your short down distance first downs, and then you got the deep threat, man.
We don't have a reliable slot guy. Lazard's good some games, but then he sucks other games. MVS is our deep threat. He's good some games, and he sucks other games. Our problem is we don't have a reliable number 2. That's our problem. Tanyan
and that's a big thing.
Tanyan doesn't have Kittle.
You guys have a running game, and you have
we do have a good running game.
The offensive line. We don't have the offensive line. Of the 3 teams that we like, that we represent on our ball caps, Buffalo has the worst offensive line ranking. Kansas City probably has the best receivers. Green Bay probably has a better running game. Tight end game is Kansas City. Buffalo, I would argue, has the best overall receiver in Stephon Diggs. So, we each have our thing. So, Chad, I mean, what is Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite?
You're asking a Chiefs fan that question. That's why I asked you about it.
But Ahlers, what's Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite? And then you can do Josh Allen's kryptonite, Chad.
I don't know. I don't know what the Falcons did to make him struggle like he did when he played that game.
Well, I will say what I think Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite is.
What's that?
He gets overconfident, I think. And that's why you get those weird no-look passes, the throwing places he probably shouldn't. He believes so much in himself that he can complete anything, and a lot of times he can. I think that's where his biggest kryptonite is. He just gets a little too confident.
You know what I think his kryptonite is this season a little bit is you've seen a lot less of those plays, and I think his kryptonite is he's trying to hold back a little bit and be a little bit more reserved quarterback. And I don't think he's went for near as many deep balls, and it showed. I think if you throw that ball deep to Hardeman and Tyreek Hill, man, I mean, what 2 better wide receivers you got out there on the ends to throw that deep ball? And then you got Travis Kelce, the best tight end in football right now. I mean, we can argue that, but I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm going to say Kelce, and if he's not number 1, he's tied for number 1.
He's number 1. I don't think we're going to argue that. Okay. I think that if Kittle was in Kansas City, I think he would be the best tight end in football. Yep. But just as is, Kelce is in Kansas City. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's an amazing tight end. So I will say that I don't think there's any argument.
And he was amazing. He was amazing before Mahomes really came on too, though. I mean, he's that prototypical tall, big guy. Kelce's biggest problem up until this season, I felt, was he dropped too many balls. But it seems like he's kind of got a grip on that now. So who knows? Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen, I don't know if he's got a kryptonite so far that I've seen because I haven't got to see a lot of Bills games. Patrick knows I haven't watched a lot of football this year. But I will say this. I would say Josh Allen's is experience, and sometimes I think his nerves. When the Chiefs played him earlier this year, I think he was so nervous. And we can say the rain, but we both played in the rain that day.
Yeah.
I think his nerves a little bit, and I think he's worked through some of those nerves. I think he's on a high spot right now, so I think he is dangerous.
See, he's an ultra competitive guy, and so that was his kryptonite prior to this. Is he wouldn't say, okay, it's second down, we still have third down and fourth down if we need it. he would say, "Oh man, I've got to run it and jump over 13 people and try to ram people," and then he fumbled the ball. He doesn't do that anymore.
Maybe not having enough confidence in his team at times. Maybe not wanting to force the ball. I think his is experience. I think Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I would say his kryptonite is just going to be a good defensive team, man. Because he is definitely probably the best overall quarterback in football. Has been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a Chiefs fan and what Mahomes has done the last couple of years, anybody puts Mahomes as, in that number one slot or whatever. But I still think pure quarterback, Aaron Rodgers has been there for a while. But I don't know. I think Mahomes needs to get he needs to go ahead and
be Mahomes.
Test the defense a little bit more than what he's been doing. But
I wouldn't say he needed to change anything because everything he's done so far has just worked almost to perfection. It's insane what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Rodgers' biggest problem is he can't rely on his defense all the time. That's his biggest problem because if they fall behind, he can't trust his defense to make enough stops so they can come back.
You know what's weird is I think Mahomes gets better if we're behind. It shows that he brings our team back into it. And I think we need to get that. We need to go ahead and go for the throat earlier in the game. We need to get a little Bieniemy or whoever's if Reed's telling Bieniemy to call the plays or if Reed's approving them or what. But
it's all right. There he is.
And now we don't have audio.
I think we need to get a little bit more aggressive early on. We've got all the skilled players. I think we need to set ourselves up for shorter third down plays, not 3rd and 12s and crap like that.
It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 2. You guys are still going to throw 30 yards on a third down play for some reason.
If Tyreek Hill is going to bust the top of the coverage, why not?
But that was one thing with Buffalo I thought was coaching in the beginning of the season, something we've got away from, is it seemed like they were still thinking years past and we'd go up by 10 points and then they would just try to run the ball instead of just stacking points. They would try to play it safe. And over the last 5-6 weeks, we got away from that. It's just turn it on and don't let go. And that's what you got to do. Put the foot on the gas and just burn them.
Listen, I think – Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, all we need is our defense to just play good throughout the playoffs. Not even super great. Just give the offense a chance because right now the offense is humming. The run game is working. As long as we don't have Devontae Adams double teamed, he'll catch just about any ball you throw his way. Aaron Rodgers has a quick enough release that he doesn't have to worry about getting sacked 8 times a game. If the defense can just make the stops we need, we're set.
I also think – I told Packers this the other day. At the end of last year, our defense, some of the big playmakers were making some huge plays. Frank the Tank was making a lot of huge plays. The Honey Badger was making a lot of huge plays. Chris Jones was literally eating Big Macs. Quarterbacks like crazy. And I think we still see those signs, but we just haven't seen them as often. So I don't know. Who knows? We might be saving the mojo for going into the playoffs now. I don't know. I think.
Well, you're going to need to.
We're going to need to.
This is when, and I have no doubt in my mind that Kansas City is going to come in and they're going to play lights out because that's what they do and that's what they have to do and that's what I want them to do. Now, I do want to take a moment just to remind everybody that Joe Flacco is the official quarterback here on Up the Gut.
Drops bombs.
No, he's not.
Dropping bombs.
Drops bombs.
He's not even the official quarterback of his own team.
I tell you, I think the big thing going in the playoffs, and sometimes we look at the team's talent, but when it comes to playoffs, man, look what usually gets you to a playoffs is your coaching staff.
Yeah.
And I feel like Andy Reid is definitely he's been one before he was with the Chiefs. I told a buddy a long time ago, I said, if we could ever get an Andy Reid, I said we'd be there.
Yeah.
And that was like 5 years, 6 years before he ever went there. I think the Bills head coach is phenomenal, man.
That's funny because I think it was 5 or 6 years ago I told you that if we could ever get Sean McDermott, like things would happen. I never said that. I didn't even know you 5 or 6 years ago.
Hey, I root for the Bears. I root for the Bears, and you're right. The Bears aren't that good. The Bears had a pretty good record starting the season. They're like 6-1 or something, starting or 6-2. But Sean Payton, man. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fan of the Saints. who dat crowd. I'm not into that. But Sean Payton and Drew Brees know how to win together.
Yeah.
It's that combo. And going into this, and then I hate to say it, I mean, John Harbaugh, he's been there. He's done it over and over again. What's his name for the Titans? Vrabel, Mike Vrabel. He's done an excellent job.
Yeah, I did not see that coming out of him either.
You want to know who makes the best head coach?
Don't say Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, the official quarterback here about the guy. No, whenever I was reading Marv Levy's book, and he said he feels, and of course it's probably him being a little biased, but he felt that the best head coach was to hire from the special teams coach because they already know how to work with offense and defense, and they just turn out making better head coaches in the end. And he was a special teams coach, and that's what John Harbaugh, he was a special teams coach. Now there's probably others on there, but that's not 100%. But, that's something you get with if you get, an offensive-minded coach, he's going to focus in on the offense. You get a defensive-minded coach, he's going to focus on the defense.
Where did McDermott come from? What system did the McDermott come from?
He was Carolina's defensive coordinator.
But under what major head coach was he under for the years?
Oh, my gosh. I forget which tree he was in. Was he Andy Reid?
Because, I know
Carolina?
the Bears.
He wasn't Carolina, but I think he started with Andy Reid, if I'm not mistaken.
See, the Bears head coach, that Nagy, he came from Andy Reid's system. I mean, there's a bunch of them that came from his system and Belichick's system, and we're seeing I don't know about the Packers right now.
I don't know where LaFleur came from.
I remember him as a player, Matt LaFleur, but right? Where'd he play?
I can find out in just.
I knew nothing about him until he got that job. He was in the Andy Reid system. McDermott was. No. Andy Reid. Sean McDermott coached under Andy Reid. He was part of the Andy Reid tree.
There you go.
Matt LaFleur played quarterback. Was the quarterback's coach of the former Redskins and the Falcons, and offensive coordinator for the Rams and the Titans.
I was gonna say Falcons. I thought, but I don't know.
Yeah, before the head coaching job, he was the offensive coordinator for the Titans back in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like I still don't know how I feel about him. Obviously, he's won a lot of games, but he had Aaron Rodgers. So I felt like, I think I told Matt this the other day, I feel like he hindered the team last year, and he's starting to learn this year, except for halftime. But
his biggest problem is he's the worst winning coach I've seen at making halftime adjustments. Because last season, when we got the breaks beat off us by the Niners in the regular season, going to halftime down by at least 20, and sometimes the reporter will catch him on the way through the tunnel to ask him what they want to change. And he's going to look at this scoreboard and say, we're not going to change a thing. We just got to stick to our game plan. It's like, no, you don't stick to your game plan when your game plan has you down 20 already.
Yeah. Well, let's get back on track. So, Colts at Bills.
Oh, Bills.
I think
not for lack of trying, though. The Colts defense, I think, will step up a little more than Josh Allen and the offense has seen the past few weeks. But I think they match up better at each skill position than the Colts do. And Philip Rivers is something at the end of the game.
I think it'll be a close game through even late third quarter, but I think the Bills will pull it out and win by 13.
Nice. So we're all in Buffalo. That's good.
Yeah,
I was going to look as
30 to 17 or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, 20 to 33.
Yeah, playoff Philip Rivers will show up and throw that late pick that just dooms them.
So it sounds like their pass defense is one of the best pass defenses, and Josh Allen is unstoppable against top 5 pass defenses. It's weird. That's when he plays his best. So just something to keep in mind. But we're all in Buffalo. So then that moves us to the next most important. No, I'm just kidding. This game isn't important at all. Chad, you want to start this one off for us?
Sure. Which game we talking about?
Oh, sorry. Rams at Seahawks.
Rams at Seahawks. Is Goff playing?
We don't know yet.
And even if he is playing, I'm not sure if he'll be 100% healthy. The Rams are going to have to rely on their defense very heavy, and I think Russell Wilson's a gamer. I think they went through a little down spiral, the Seahawks, but I think the Seahawks will pull this one out. It'll be a close one. It'll be a tooth and nail to the end. I think it's going to be a field goal game, probably a 27, 24, 24, 21, somewhere in there.
What's really funny about this is you and I have had many talks on Russell Wilson.
Oh,
Not you. Did you leave, Matt?
Matt's there.
Well, he said "uh-oh" and then
the feet
looked at his computer.
A second.
Okay. So anyway, and then at the beginning of the year, he was unstoppable. And I said, Chad, Russell Wilson proved me wrong. And then he proved me right again. So I don't know what to think of him, but I think that the Rams have been too up and down. And with Goff not being there, I just don't think they have it in them to win. So I'm also going Seahawks. I don't think it'll be as close as what you think it is, but it is still a divisional game. So all bets go out the window there.
I'm picking Seahawks, but I think it's going to be a close game. That offensive line in Seattle is one of the worst out of all the playoff teams. So Russell Wilson's going to have to run for his life and make plays happen. But with guys like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, he can make enough plays happen to get him through this game.
Metcalf will be the difference in that game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, such
So-
a big.
Like I said, I don't think it'll be as close as what you guys think it will be, but I still think Seattle will win. Then we move on to the Buccaneers at the football team.
Oh, the football.
Okay, I know everybody's riding Alex Smith bandwagon. I'm a Chiefs fan. I loved Alex Smith, but it was
And we can all agree that we love Alex Smith. I mean, everyone loves Alex Smith. We can all agree on that, right? We can all get behind this.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so the thing about Alex Smith though is in Kansas City, I think he got into such a rut. It was so painful to watch him play. There was times when all you wanted was to see a first down in any quarter. That's all you wanted to see was get a first down, not punt the ball 8 times in a game.
Yeah.
I think Washington's defense is pretty tough right now. I think they're a grinding team, just like the NFC East. Those teams usually just kind of grind it out, maybe not put up a lot of points ever. But I do believe that Tom Brady, as much as everyone there hates Tom Brady, my son loves Tom Brady. I became a Tom Brady fan. He's a great role model. He has got too many weapons, and he's got too much experience going into this game. I believe the Buccaneers are going to win this game, and I don't think it's going to be real close. I think they're going to win by a couple scores, and I think they're going to play out pretty well against the Redskins.
I still make that mistake. The
Yes,
football
Colin.
team. Anyway, so I think that this will either be a blowout or a close game. If it's a blowout, that means Tampa Bay's just clicking and they're going. And if it's a close game, Washington wins. Because Tom Brady's kryptonite is getting hit. If Tom Brady gets hit, he doesn't want to get hit again. So then he gets a little antsy. He throws a little too fast. His throws go a little high. So I think that if Chase Young does what he wants to do and he says, I want Brady, that's what he wants. He wants to play the GOAT. And so if he wants Brady, man, I hope he gets Brady, and I hope he gets a lot of Brady. This comes down to what we'll probably say a few more times. There's what I want to happen and what I think will happen, because we can all agree that we love Alex Smith. I mean, who doesn't love Alex Smith? But I think that Tampa Bay will win. I just want Washington to win.
I want the Bucs to win. I want to see Brady and Gronk go a little deeper in the playoffs, possibly face Green Bay in the playoffs, the same as the Chiefs facing the Bills. I think a Rodgers, Brady, Allen, Mahomes is as good of a playoff you can get for the championship series.
Yeah, you got the two old guys, and then in the NFC, and the two young guys in the AFC.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I think Tampa will win. Washington's only hope is that Montez Sweat and Chase Young can get a hold of Tom Brady early and often.
Yep.
But if Tampa get their blocking down and keep Tom Brady protected, it's over. It's not even close.
If Tom Brady takes a game plan in that he's taken in all these years, which is step back in the pocket, you release the ball within less than 2 seconds, get the ball out, And I think if Gronk can have any type of decent game, I think the big thing is, even if it's getting close towards the end, Brady, he will get the calls. He's going to throw some deep balls. Now, this year they've been a little bit off, but he will get calls on some deep balls for some pass interference. He always has.
Well, that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I say I think edge to the Bucs. And again, I'm rooting for him. As much as I like Alex Smith, a team that's got to change their name for political correctness. Sorry.
But we all can agree that we love Alex Smith. So Robert in the comments said Tampa. Heather had said Bills. I think in our conversation we got a little – I think she just left. She was mad that I didn't say anything. Anyway, Robert, since you're watching, why don't you give us the Bills, Colts, and the Rams, Seahawks, your pick, and I'll keep track of those two. And then we got, which I think will probably be the toughest game to pick.
Sunday.
And the first game of Sunday. And Matt, if you want to start us off on the Ravens at Titans.
Oh, I'm taking the Titans.
Wow, that went quick.
Yeah.
Man.
Is that it? Just
Why?
I picked King Henry.
Well, not just King Henry, because if the defense keys on King Henry, Tannehill's shown that he can run too. Because he burned us for a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he can.
That play action fake. And Tannehill, that is a good offense in Tennessee. And if their offense can just go and grind clock and just keep the Ravens off the field, they can win this game. And I think they absolutely will, because nobody's proven they can really stop Derrick Henry in that offense. You can contain him, but I don't think the Ravens have what it takes on defense to do that.
I think they've lost 5 games, so apparently somebody stopped it. Buffalo held him to like 60 yards.
Green Bay held him to 98, but 98 still
I like
not
it. 98 is holding them.
that's just containing him.
All right. What do you think, Chad?
Hey, that depends on how many carries did he have to get 98. Did he have over 23 carries or 22 carries?
Let me look.
I
don't
Because
think
if he had
did.
over 23, 24 carries, then I would say they contained him very well.
I don't remember hearing his name a whole lot that game.
They were trying.
That was
So
in the
Robert,
snow, right?
Yes, that
Yeah,
was on the snow.
The little bits I caught on the game, it seemed like they handed the ball off a bunch, and he couldn't get a hole up the middle if he tried against Green Bay.
no, they were definitely in it to stop him. They made a point of that. They were hitting him.
That was the best run defense Green Bay's played probably in about 2-3 years.
I thought 98 yards, if you can keep him under 100.
Well, that's good.
I mean, even if he had 110 yards and he rushed it for 28 times, that's containment to me. That's a lot of plays that didn't go very far.
He had exactly 23 carries for 98 yards, which is still over 4 a carry though, so that's not a bad day.
Yeah, but for him, that's pretty mediocre. So, I think they did a good job.
Well, then Tannehill had 3 carries for 55, but 50 of them came on one play.
So Robert says Bills, Seahawks, Titans. So far of the picks made, everybody has been 100% in agreement. You gonna change that, Chad?
I want the Titans to win as much as I'm scared of them in the playoffs, but I'm also scared of the Ravens a bit because we all know
they got great running game.
You hate losing to a guy that's a running back playing a quarterback. I think the Ravens defense is good enough that they can play a little smash mouth that first half to keep Henry down. And I think they're going to have to throw the ball more. Tannehill's going to have to make some big plays, not just Henry. I think Henry's going to have to be kind of dosed in there in between a little bit. Like we said, if the Titans can get ahead, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
I think the Titans can play from behind, though, too, where I don't think the Ravens can. So I just think with where they're at right now, I hate to say this, but I'm going to pick the Ravens on this one. I want the Titans to win, but I'm going to pick the Ravens on this game.
Chad hit on a lot of good points there because what do you have to play from behind? You have to have a solid quarterback who can hit receivers. And I don't think the Baltimore has that. They have to get up early and then just run the crap out of the ball. That's how they win games. And if anybody's figured them out, Tennessee figured them out. They embarrassed them last year in the first round of the playoffs. Now, I will say, because of that, Baltimore wants revenge. They got embarrassed. They want to make everybody understand that they are as good as they say they are. They want everybody to understand that they can beat Tennessee. And in postseason history, the road team is 4-0 between these two.
Wow.
And this is in Tennessee. So as much as I don't want to say it, and I haven't seen Tormented Gaming in here, so I must have just upset him enough with all my anti-Lamar Jackson talk. It goes down to what I want and what I think will happen. I want the Titans to win, but I am picking Baltimore.
Oh man, so I'm alone on this one.
Nope. Robert picked with you.
Yeah, Robert picked with you.
Okay, good.
I don't know if that means anything.
Hey, all these picks are all dependent upon COVID too, guys. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want COVID to mess with the playoffs at all, but it already has. I mean, it's already affected Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then we got probably the best team in the playoffs, the Chicago Bears, at the New Orleans Saints. Chad, what do you think about this one?
Hey, I was born in Quincy, Illinois, 1985. I was in a laundromat watching the Bears put a trouncing on the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. I watched the refrigerator carry the ball in. I was a Bears fan for years. I stuck to the Bears through the Mike Tomczak eras and Neil Anderson running the ball. And man, when I first flipped out of the Bears, I still got a love for the Bears, but I just don't think the Bears can beat Sean Payton and Drew Brees. So quick pick. I'm gonna say the Saints win this game pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I think that the Bears they found the run game. Trubisky isn't losing games, so they've got a chance. But when it comes down to it, the Saints have just been playing really good ball, and it's hard to say. Even they
Running backs or not.
Yeah, running backs or not, you still got Drew Brees in there. I don't know. Is Mike Thomas? Does anybody know if he's back off the injured reserve yet?
I think he's a game time decision.
Yeah, so I haven't heard about that one, but if he has him back, it's definitely something. The only thing that on this one is just New Orleans history in the playoffs. They have dropped the ball on a lot of stuff. So I'm going to pick them, and that's probably who I want to win the game. But I don't think it's as solid as it should be just because Saints in the playoffs is questionable.
I feel like the Saints are going to win. I don't think it's going to be close. But I wouldn't mind the Bears winning, only because if the Bears win, they have to go to Green Bay next week and catch those hands for a third time.
Man, I would not tempt fate. It's hard to beat a team twice in a year.
Yeah,
it's extremely hard to beat them 3 times in a year.
Yes.
Not when
Even if they are the Bears and the Packers.
Not when Mitchell Trubisky's your quarterback. It's not.
You call it what you want, but if the Bears go into Green Bay and beat them, I am going to laugh so hard.
I will
because
too.
You asked for them hands.
Yeah,
you asked for it.
Yeah, I will too. As I'm burning Lambeau to the ground.
Just be happy that you don't have Joe Flacco in there dropping bombs. Dropping bombs.
My God.
Sorry, Chad. That's
hey, you put Flacco on that Bears squad. I'm picking the Bears.
And they're still 8-8
all day, every day. All right, and then that leads us to the last game of Super Wild Card Weekend.
Super Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, super. We got the Browns at the Steelers, which is another game.
The third match
that is a difference of what I want and what I'll probably get.
Yeah.
So, Matt, what do you got?
I got the Steelers because they're bringing all their people back. Ben will have had a nice rest. He'll play better. Browns are going in without their coach. I don't think they can beat them in the wild card like they did this past Sunday.
Chad?
I'm with him. I like to see this Brownie Brown magic keep going on for a little bit longer, but I've never been a huge Baker Mayfield fan in college, but I liked him more when he got in the NFL and he kind of ruffled some feathers. He's not afraid to compete against the big guy, defenses, but I think coaching is everything in the playoffs. I don't think Tomlin's the best of coaches, but he's been there long enough. He knows where his weaknesses are. He knows where his strengths are. And I think Big Ben Ayler said, having some time off a break. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. Could be close, but it don't really matter in the end. I think Steelers are going to get the W.
So, first of all, Robert, there's no as long as, no ifs, no buts. You make your pick. You be a man. I guess I should show you guys what he's saying. He said, Browns, as long as no more COVID. Well, that's not how it works. First of all, there's already COVID. They lost their coach. And can anybody name the Browns head coach? Because I can't.
I just saw his name on TV last night, too. Oh,
I read it just the other day, and I still forget it. Like, who is this guy? Anyway, so I'm along the same lines as you guys. Go ahead.
Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski of the Stefanski football family.
Of the ancient Stefanski clan from Scotland.
Where was he at, Ailers? Can you do a little crack research and just say where he's been?
Research.
So, but when it comes down to it, the Browns barely squeaked by Pittsburgh. They've been messing with a lot of stuff. I would love to see them go deep, and I would like them to beat Pittsburgh. But at the end of it, I just think with all the rest that they got on that team, TJ Watt's going to be tearing stuff up. Whoever that guy in the middle is, Hayworth or whatever, he's going to be tearing stuff up. I just don't think Baker has it in him, and Big Ben will do what it has to do, and Pittsburgh's going to win. I don't think it'll be as close as it should be.
All right. So the last place he was the Viking. He was in the Vikings for a few years. 2016, he was the Vikings running backs coach. 2017, 2018, he was the Vikings quarterbacks coach. Mid-2018, he became the interim offensive coordinator. In 2019, he was their full offensive coordinator.
So he's the one that made Kirk Cousins look good. No wonder he got a head coaching job.
He's part of that squad that extended Kirk Cousins, so I kind of missed him all over the north.
All right. So, all right. Well, we got our picks in, and we only differ on – well, honestly, Chad and I, we're going to do the exact same. Matt will either be one better or one worse than us. Woo. And then Robert has the possibility of having two better than me. One better than Matt or worse. Because he picked Cleveland. Good for you. Be a man.
I want Cleveland to win so bad.
Cleveland to win.
So bad.
Yeah, but they made it to the playoffs. That's good.
That fan base deserves the playoff win. Because if you say you're a Browns fan, you know you're loyal. There is no Browns bandwagon at this point. Not yet.
You know, that's kind of upsetting because I think that we might be having a slight Bills bandwagon, and I don't like it. Because as I've said before, bandwagon's not welcome here. We don't take those fans.
Well,
I think once you became the Bills Mafia, that's when the bandwagon started. Because who doesn't want to jump through a table at a tailgate? That looks fun.
And because of Matt, I have opted into if the Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, I'm smashing a table. So Chad, you're more than welcome to watch me drop an elbow, my old fat body dropping through a table. That's right. If Green Bay wins, I'm making Matt jump through a table.
If Green Bay wins, I get to powerbomb you through a table.
Oh damn!
How awesome would that be for this show?
Yeah. How's your power bombing skills? I don't want to die.
I have 6 weeks to work on it, sir.
All right. Well, that or all else, you can choke slam me through it.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's happened before, so
that's
I
fun.
think I can handle that. All right, Chad. You got anything you want to drop in here? Do you think Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP? Do you think that Patrick Mahomes should be runner-up?
Oh man,
do you indeed love Alex Smith?
When are they going to pick this MVP? At the end of the year?
Yeah, it happens.
NFC Championship weekend.
Yeah,
Conference Championship weekend.
Yeah.
Don't you think some of their? Do you think some of their?
They'll already have picked it before the playoffs happen.
Yeah, no, it's only regular season.
Yeah, they'll already have picked it. They just won't announce it until later.
Not until the NFL Awards show, which is I think actually aired maybe like the night before.
Hosted by Peyton Manning.
Oh, awesome! I love Peyton.
I don't
Manning.
know if it is or not. I love Peyton Manning hosting stuff. I think he's done it before. Actually, I think it's been who's that one guy does talk show did the Family Feud?
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I think he's done it most every year, if I'm not mistaken.
He's also a
But-
really good host.
Nah, it's good. As long as they make fun of NFL players and they call Lamar Jackson a running back, I'll be satisfied.
I don't think they'll call him that to his face.
But anyway, I think that, unless you guys got something you want to get to, that kind of wraps up our show.
Oh, we don't know yet who's hosting this year. They haven't picked it.
It's probably because it's not going to happen. It's going to be all Zoom.
Hey, where's the Super Bowl going to be at this year? In Vegas or Dallas or where?
Tampa Bay.
Ooh, that's right. Well, I know Mahomes likes playing in Florida for Super Bowl championships, so
Yeah, he's 1 for 1. He won't get a chance to go 2 for 2, but I mean, that's all right. If Buffalo goes, you guys want to go tailgate that? If it's a Buffalo Packers game, we have to go tailgate that.
Oh my God,
And we're
yes.
going to force them to give us media credentials. We'll go media row. So on that line, if you haven't subscribed, tell everybody to subscribe because we got to grow this because they will not give a channel with 20 subscribers media credentials.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell that homeless guy that hangs out of outside of your work.
At the 7-Eleven, tell your
Wherever
roommate.
you work. Yeah,
Tell your roommate to subscribe.
Tell your preachers. They might not like all the language we use, but tell them anyway.
Yeah, we only have one.
any
Go
word
ahead.
from sponsors or anything?
No. I figure we need to grow. Once we hit 100 subscribers, then we'll talk
Maybe.
sponsors. I mean, we're unofficially this week. We're unofficially sponsored by Keurig DrinkWorks.
And by the PS5 because I have one.
Yeah, I don't. That's all right. Well, Chad, thanks for coming on and giving us your juiced up ogre expert picks. We appreciate it. We'll bring you on for next week, and we'll just have you all through the playoffs giving your expert picks. And if they are amazing, it's the same as mine.
Sounds good.
Thanks for being on, man. You have a good time.
Later.
Hydrate.
Go Browns.
Anyway, so that's a good show, Ahlers. I mean, I think we did all right. I like that we got Chad on here. I sent him an email. I said, hey, if you feel like it, this is what we can do. And I'm glad he took that because if I talk football with you a lot, I talk it with him probably even more. Like we talk football a lot. So it's good to get him on here.
Until I move down there.
Yeah, until you have a similar schedule and you're not sleeping whenever I want to talk football.
Hey, I mean,
So anyway, and one of the main reasons I want to bring him on here because he's always in that chat and he's not only making picks, he's dropping scores. And I've never jotted him down to see how close he is, but I'd say it's fairly accurate. So nice to get them juiced up ogre expert picks from Chad.
He definitely feels like he's one of those fans that sees the bigger picture in the NFL. He's not just the Chiefs are the best because I like them.
Yeah, no, he understands how football works a lot of the ways. If anything, sometimes he might get a little more down. I've noticed that from some Chiefs fans, and probably you'll see it from Browns fans or teams that have long suffered.
Yeah,
like Buffalo for the longest time, we could be up by 28 points, and I'd be like, hold on, let's not count any chickens. Let's see what happens here. And that's kind of the way it gets there. They could be up by 28 points in a game. and they'll be like, oh no, we just let them score a big touchdown. That's horrible. But I think that he's just one of those fans that likes the Chiefs because they're the best because he likes them. I think that's how he is.
I don't know. I mean, like he said, he was a Bears fan and he migrated. So if the Chiefs start to have a 30-year drought, who knows what he might migrate next?
No, I think he migrated because of territory. Like he spent most of his life around Kansas City area,
Right.
so he may have been born there. But whenever he was old enough to pick his team, he picked his team. So I don't think he'll ever migrate off of them. Like he'll root for Tom Brady because him and his son like Tom Brady. He'll root for the Bears because he's got that sentimental touch. But it's Kansas City.
Kansas City was 99. I think that's the Joe Montana era still. Pretty close.
I couldn't even tell you.
Well, no, 99 is high school, not middle school. That was not Elvis Gerbach. I think he was gone by then, too.
Probably another San Francisco quarterback. And Robert did agree about the Kansas City fans. They just don't want to trust it. So Anyway, so
crazy. I get it though, because I was born in San Diego. I grew up in California until I was about 12 before I moved to Missouri, and I've never been a hometown guy. Like, my favorite teams throughout the different sports leagues are just so all over the map.
I have lived in Missouri my entire life.
Yep.
And I've been a Bills fan my entire life. And I don't watch
what you really get into, right?
Yeah, I don't watch baseball, but I will root for the Royals. I don't watch hockey, but I didn't even have a team until the Pagulas bought Buffalo, so now I'm a Sabres fan.
Yeah.
Because they're owned by the same. Which, again, I don't watch it. I think I've seen like 2 minutes of one Sabres game. I don't get into college. And so, what else is there? Basketball? No one watches basketball. I mean, why would you watch basketball?
I don't watch it like I used to.
No. So anyway, yeah. So Buffalo is what it is. I mean, if you walk in my bar downstairs, it's just Bill stuff everywhere. So, but one thing I'm loyal. I'll never.
Yeah. Oh no. When it comes to basketball, I'm a Orlando Magic fan. They've been garbage for 25 years.
Chad's a Cubs fan.
Well, yeah, it's Chicago and a Bulls fan.
But Bulls fan was easier. Maybe not so much now. I don't watch basketball, but Cubs fan has not been easy for a long time. Didn't they just win though? They just won, right?
A few years ago, they finally broke that.
3 years ago. Yeah, but they were cursed, man. You don't want to be cursed.
Yeah, like Detroit Lions.
Poor Detroit Lions. Poor Matt Stafford. That guy.
Poor any superstar that's played in Detroit.
That's true. Poor Barry Sanders.
Poor Megatron.
Yeah, poor Megatron. He was so good, but it's like they're only allowed one really good player at a time.
Well, they had Matt
closest
Stafford
you got with
and
Stafford and Megatron.
Yeah.
That's the closest you get. And Chad said they won in 16, so it's been a little longer than I thought it was.
About 4 years. Well, technically 5 now.
So again, like I said, just if you know somebody that watches football, they don't have to be a Green Bay fan or Buffalo fan. They'll be probably a little happier if they are, and they will not be happy if they're a Ravens fan. I'm just saying. We're extremely biased. We carry that stuff on our sleeves, but hopefully we're entertaining. We're fairly knowledgeable about what goes on in football. So we need subscribers because I would like to get us up around that 100 before we really start pushing anything. I put in a request for media credentials for the Kansas City during the playoffs. I'm sure it'll get denied. But you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right. This could be a playoff miracle.
It could be. And then I will be there on the sideline. I will take this camera right here, and I will take pictures on the sideline, and I'll be that guy that gets hit by the players because I ain't moving.
That's right. You can't now if you want that shot.
So anyway, tell everybody about us. Let's get some subscribers. I mean, we're at 20. I'm not. That's pretty good. But if you got someone that likes football or likes looking at two bearded, amazing men, I mean, there it is. At least one amazing man. I won't tell you which one. Anyway, Matt, you got anything before we close this thing out?
Nothing we didn't already cover. Like Patrick said, though, we do have a Twitter at UpTheGut1. That's the number one. Not
to block us. It's happening.
You don't need to block us. We're friendly. We might hit you with facts that you don't want to look at, but we're friendly.
Or opinions. Yeah, we'll hit you with opinions. There'll be some facts. There'll be some opinions. And if Matt's live tweeting during a Green Bay game, expect lots of cursing. And that stuff I was saying about the Chiefs fans, like as soon as something goes south just for a second, fucking Green Bay coaches, they don't know how to call it fucking game. Expect tweets like that.
Look, when your receiver drops a perfect pass and it costs you a touchdown, you're going to be a little upset.
He was cuddling that like a newborn baby, and he's like, "Oh damn!" and just dropped.
I hope you don't hold his babies like that.
Oh, he started to, man. He caught that right in his hands. He's in stride, had like 7 yards before the guy was behind him, and he
caught the exact same pass in the first half. So we figured we'd do it again. And once again, he blew
and
the
it worked
top
again.
It did not work again because he dropped it that time.
I mean, everything but that worked out.
And like I said, that's the problem with Marquez Valdes-Scantling is that he has the speed, he has the talent, but he only has the hands half the time.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you're watching, this isn't only live; it's just recorded live. It is on our YouTube channel. So used to be you had to search Up the Gut Live, but if you just type Up the Gut in the search, brings you to our videos. You can watch anything that we've posted. If you want to go back to the glory of the audio only XFL days, they're in there too. Matt's still hiding our preseason or pre-preseason prediction show.
I have to go back and find it. I have to go through all the episodes and remember which one it was, because they're not because they're not labeled in any way to tell me what's on them. They're just labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I think it would have been probably the last one we did with the audio. So, but if we gets that one up there, it might give you a little idea of our thought process, because I did predict the Browns being good. I thought they might win the North, but I did predict that, and there's probably some gems in there. I did predict Buffalo to go to the AFC Championship game, which
we're
right on
to win their division.
Yeah, that was there was a chance up until last week. Week 17 decision. That's saying something. Not anybody else would predict that Dallas would have a chance of the playoffs at 5-11, but I was there.
Did you predict they would go to the Super Bowl to represent the NFC?
I did. I thought they'd do it. I don't remember who I picked they'd go up against, though. So we'll see if he gets a hold of that. We'll release it. Obviously, it'll be audio only, but we'll release that hopefully before the Super Bowl, so you guys could hear our picks and see how close we were. But if it's a Buffalo and whoever I picked to play against the Dallas Cowboys, yeah. Though I think we both predicted that the Buccaneers would go 8-8.
We did. I mean,
so Tom Brady surprised us a little bit, but we were right about. I think we said the Patriots go 8-8 too.
I was more surprised about the Bucs defense finally stepping up than Tom Brady doing what he did.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching Up the Gut. Come back. We'll be back here Wednesday at 6:30 next week. Hopefully, we'll have
Super Wild Card Weekend.
After Super Wild Card Weekend.
And I get to watch all 6 games stress-free.
That's true. Tell your mom about us.